What's up, 5th graders? It's Mr. Runyan. Make fun of my Believe shirt, you get this gym. Holla! Okay, so by now you should have already done your application problem, so here you're just checking for your answers. So we can take a quick look. I've already done the work, so hopefully I'm right. To complete the table, so 2/3 equals 2 feet. Yards to feet, we know there's 3 feet in 1 yard, so we're going to multiply 3. We want to find 2/3 of, I would say of for my sign, so 3 times 2/3, well, we can cancel out our 3's and we get 2. So 2 feet. 4 pounds, there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So if we have 4 pounds, we're going to multiply that by 16 ounces, and we get 64. 8 tons, there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. If there's 8, we're going to multiply it by 2,000. Remember, this is repeated addition, so we could add 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8 times. Repeated addition. 3/4 of a gallon. Well, we just did gallon man the other day, so quickly drew gallon man. Quarts, because it's 1 gallon, 4 quarts, 2 pints, and then 2 cups. So 1, 4, 2, 2. So there are 3 quarts and 3/4 of a gallon. How many in 1/4? 5/12 of a year in 2 months. So how many months are in a year? Well, it gives us to it right here. You better not have got that one wrong. It's 5. 4/5 of an hour. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So 60 times 4/5. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 60, 12. 12 times 4 is 48. Okay, let's do our first problem set together. So we know that we have, if we read it, a baseball team played 32 games and lost 8. It's a pretty good baseball team. Katie was the catcher in 5/8 of the winning games and 1/4 of the losing games. We have 2 questions if we look at it, so we always make sure we analyze the problem. We have A and B, so we need to find out what fractions of the games did the team win. Well, that's pretty easy, isn't it? So we know that we could always draw a cool little tape measure. So we know that from here to here, well, 32 was the total games they played. They lost 8. 32 subtract 8 is, what is it? 24. You're getting so good at this. So we know from here to here is 24, and then from here to here, which is what they lost, 1, it's 8. So what fraction of the games did the team win? Well, we know they won 24 out of 32. There we go. But are we done? No, because we need to simplify. So they're both even, so 24 can go into, let me erase that real quick. So we have 24 and 32. They're both even. 2 goes into 24 12 times. 2 goes into 32 16 times. You can always do this a faster way. I always think it's easier to do this by dividing by 2. So now, divide by 2 again. You're going to get 6/8. Again, you can still continue to go. 3/4. So we can say that A is 3/4. So Katie won 3/4. Well, the team won 3/4. So now it says, in how many games did Katie play catcher? So we have 32 games and lost 8. So Katie was a catcher in 5/8 of the winning games. So the winning games, we want to find 5 eighths. And remember, I would say of, and the winning games was 24. Extend your line. Well, we can simplify. 8 goes in 8 once. 8 goes into 23 3 times. 5 times 3 is 15 winners, but we need to find the losers, so we need to find 1/4 of, and we had 8. 8, extend your line. Well, 4 goes into 4, 4 goes into 8, 2 times. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 1, so 2. So now we just need to add 15, add 2 is 17. That is your answer for B. So, what fraction of the games did the team won? They won 3/4. How many did they lose? What fraction? Okay, let's go on to problem set number 2. Well, I could always show you this though too. So there were multiple ways, so you could always pause it at any time when I'm showing these to you, as far as the different ways that you could have solved it. Mr. Runyan's head moving all around. Okay, let's move on to the second problem set. I'm going to read it and then I'd like you to solve it. So problem 2. In Mrs. Elliott's garden, 1/8 of the flowers are red, 1/4 of them are purple, and 1/5 of the remaining flowers are pink. If there are 128 flowers, how many flowers are pink? So we want to find out how many flowers are pink. And I underline this question because I've learned that our math really wants to confuse us. So 1/5 of the remaining. So I'm assuming we're going to subtract or find out that one, this one, and add these together, and then we're going to subtract it from here. Okay, we're going to subtract 1/5 from the total that we have left after we subtract that. Okay, so pause it and solve, please. Welcome back. Okay, hopefully you paused. Okay, so here we go. So I've already done the work. So we wanted to find out Mrs. Elliott's garden. 1/8 of flowers were red, 1/4 of them were purple, and we want to find the remaining flowers, which are pink, and 1/5 of the remaining. So we know there are 128 total flowers. So I've already done the work. So I know I'm going to find 1/8 of, when I say of, I multiply, times 128. They both simplify, 1 and 16. In a real easy way that I did that in my head was I knew that 8 times 8 was 64. I was trying to figure out what went into 8. Well, 4 and 4. What goes into 120? 60. So 64 plus 64 is 128. And then really the same for the next one, because 1/4 of 12, we're looking right here. Well, 4 is half of 8, so wouldn't we just double the answer and we get 32? But for those of you that wanted to solve it, I did solve the long division up here. You're more than welcome to do that, because all I care about in the end is that you get the answer correct. Okay, so now we are subtracting 128 minus 48. We can subtract our 8s first, so that would bring us down to 120. Well, 120 subtract 40 would equal 80. So the next thing we want to find is 1/5 of 80. 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 goes into 80. How many times? Well, I know half of 80 is 40, and 5 goes into 40 8 times, or does it? And double that, and you get 16. Those 16 ones. So, how many flowers are pink? 16 flowers are pink. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Problem set number 3. I'm going to want you to do this by yourself, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to have to work afterwards, and I'll briefly explain it. Go. I won't scare you this time. Okay, did you get lost? There's your answer. So Lily and Darlene plan to get their homework finished within 1 hour. Darlene completes her math homework in 3/5 of an hour. I'm going to underline, hopefully you did the same thing. Lillian completes her math homework with, here's the trick part, with 5/6 of an hour remaining. That means remaining, so then she only did 1/6. She has 5/6 left. She's very slow, which is okay. Maybe she's accurate. Who completes her homework faster and by how many minutes? Bonus, give the answer as a fraction of an hour. So we already solved for Darlene. Darlene did 3/5 of 60, and that equaled 36 minutes. And for Lillian, we had 1/6 of 60, which equaled 10 minutes. So if I really wanted to write with a mouse, I would probably write it out exactly what it says. If it says who completes her homework faster, I would put Darlene completes her homework faster by 26 minutes. For the bonus question, hopefully you got it. If not, it's 26 total over 60. They're both even, so you can simplify. Half of 26 is 13, half of 60 is 30. Ta-da! If you got this, show me and I'll give you $100. Okay, problem 4. Create and solve a story problem about a baker and some flour whose solution is given by the expression 1/4 times 3 add 5 in parentheses. Go. Okay, because it's really hard to write with this, I'm just going to steal the answers that the book gives us. So we could say the pastry chef mixes 1/4 of sugar into each cup of flour. He uses 3 cups of wheat flour and 5 cups of rice flour. How many cups of sugar does he use in all? Or we could have the other one. So you choose whichever one. If you have a different one, come show me, and then we'll just make sure that it's correct. Okay, problem set number 5. So we have one more after this. Pause it, and then I'll have the answers ready. Go. Okay, again, I didn't really want to write it down, so I'm just going to use the baker's answers. So a baker poured a bag of 36 kilograms of flour equally into 3 containers. He then used a half of 1 container of flour to make pretzels. How many kilograms of flour did he use to make the pretzels? 3 units equals 36 kilograms. 1 unit equals 36 divided by 3, which is 12. Half of 12 equals, well, it's solved here, equals 6 kilograms. He used 6 kilograms of flour to make pretzels, which is pretty good. So if you came up with a different one on how to solve this, show it to me. Let's just make sure it makes sense. Okay, problem set number 6. Of the students in Mr. Smith's 5th grade class, 1/3 were absent on Monday. Of the students in Mrs. Jacobs' class, 2/5 were absent on Monday. If there were 4 students absent in each class on Monday, how many students are in each class? Pause it and solve. Welcome back. I'm going to do this one with you. We have about a minute left of filming. So again, draw pictures. Okay. So we have 1/3, this is Mr. And we know that it's 1/3, right? 1/3 is 4. So if we know that one, we know these 3. So in Mr. Smith's class, there are 12 students. So again, draw another diagram. We're going to split it into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that it is 4. Wait, sorry. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. I wish I had a class that small. So, and we know that it was because 2/5 was 4.